Forget influencer boxing. Today on 90 Day Fiancé The Last Resort, we have Ed versus Jovi for the main card. Tiny Fury versus KFC. But we kick today off with Big Ed and Liz playing life-size chess. And Ed does need to be careful because he is the size of the pieces. But after this interesting starting exercise, Liz wants to know what Ed got up to last night with the boys.
At one point, this lady, she must have been like 7'5", and accidentally, her boobs ended up in my face.
I cannot believe that she's laughing. Her partner has just admitted to having another lady's chesticles in his face, and she's having a little chuckle about it. I mean this in the nicest way, but I think she's lost all self-respect. And I think she's adopted some sort of mum role. She's had to monitor and mentor him so much that she might have actually forgot herself and forgot her self-worth. And that is kind of sad. But at the same time, she's had many opportunities to jump ship, but she's the one who's decided to stick around and face the storm that keeps coming her way. So I guess she only has herself to blame. And for some bizarre reason, they decide to reenact what went down, which for most people would literally be rubbing salt in the wounds. But not for Liz. In her eyes, her vertically challenged partner can't do anything wrong. So much so that she actually goes on to say that she's not bothered that he lied to her. Because remember that he promised to Liz he wouldn't touch anything or anyone.
It was actually Jovi's idea to call you to get permission. Why did you give me permission?
Good question, Ed. Liz might have given you permission because you asked when she had literally all of the girls around her and you had all of the guys around you. I've said in my previous videos that Ed likes to put Liz in peer pressure situations and it just can't run. Because in that scenario, if Liz says no, she comes across controlling to the girls and she knows the ramifications for Ed if he's told that he can't do something by his partner when he's around the guys. All the guys will clown him and judge him for coming across as whipped. So I'm sure this very much has clouded her vision when making her decision.
You're at guys' night, you're like in a also peer pressure situation.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad she's finally said it. I've seen Ed use peer pressure as some sort of like power card for way too long now. So it's good to finally see her being firm and maybe actually stamping some sort of authority down here. And there is no way that that reaction from Ed indicates that he's a changed man. But you know, if she doesn't cry, walk away, or threaten to leave, then Ed will never change his ways. She has to literally have a breakdown and put their relationship into jeopardy to make Ed realize what he actually has, and then realize that he is the one ruining it. So next up, we see an extremely frustrated Yara. She's not happy with her partner Jovi's antics, and she wants to seek clarity. But for now, her and Angela are not best pleased. Because remember, the boys called up Michael when they were at the strip club to for some reason try and get him involved. But then for some reason everyone gets on a boat and they set off, so I guess they literally are trapped with each other. Two couples on board with plenty of bad blood, one elderly woman who loves to stick her beak in. What could possibly go wrong? But then Michael asked the question everyone's thinking. Where's Asuelu?
We left Asuelu last night, late night, and I haven't heard from him since.
Okay, so this could be extremely detrimental. So with everything that Kalani's been put through, he's been cheating throughout their entire relationship, and then he goes and swans off with the guys to a strip club when he's supposed to be fixing things. All of this while she has immense pressure on her shoulders because she doesn't know where she wants to go with this relationship. And obviously, the recent escapade giving Asuelu a taste for his own medicine by cheating. So fast forward and we're joined by Kalani back at the resort. She goes on to say that she is genuinely scared of what his reaction would be, so she's called for an emergency therapy meeting. But after they have a little bit of a spat of she said, he said, Asuelu asks a question that I'm not sure he's ready for the answer for.
So is he here?
If silence could kill, they'd be massacred. I feel awkward just watching. However, anyone watching this knows there is no way of this ending well. I just think we're all intrigued to see Asuelu's reaction when he finally gets a taste for his own medicine. I think it will be good for him to finally feel what he's put Kalani through over all the years, an emotion that she's probably become numb to now. But after Kalani brings up the deleting messages incident, Asuelu literally just straight up calls her a liar, which is genuinely wild to me. A guy who cannot keep himself to himself. He's in and out of other women like a broken USB stick. But you know, Kalani's the liar. Maybe he's just ran out of memory. However, she eventually drops the bomb on Asuelu by telling him that she unblocked the other man.
And then he told me that he wanted to come see me.
So yeah, that's not really what Asuelu wanted to hear, but he can't fault her. He knows that he has before done way worse things. Even as close as last episode when all the girls were just having their girls' night, right? They were all just having drinks together. Asuelu was off to a strip club getting lap dances. But you can actually see how affected he is by this. But by asking if the guy is here, he really has just opened up a can of worms for himself. And Kalani doesn't beat around the bush. She tells him straight up that she met to talk about things, and then talking about things led to other things. And to be fair, you can see that this crushed him.
Take some deep breaths.
It hurts, doesn't it? And she's had that happen to her so many times that she's probably forgotten how to feel that emotion. Which makes it really hard for me to have any form of sympathy towards him. No one who's secretive and goes behind their partner's back deserves any sympathy. And they deserve the feeling when it comes back to bite them. But what happens next is absolutely huge for the couple.
Like you want divorce me? Yes?
Take your time, Asuelu.
Now, genuinely, I didn't expect that. It's definitely needed. I just didn't think Kalani would have it in her. So I guess it took Asuelu to prompt that sort of question. But part of me thinks that was like an attempted power move almost. Maybe he thought that she'd be worried about upsetting him than losing him, leading to her never going against him ever again. But it's not really worked, has it? Let's be real. But I think a lot of us might just think it's Asuelu's ego. He feels he can go out and sleep with anyone he wants, but as soon as it happens back once to him, he just wants to run away. It does now feel like the cast are kind of dropping like flies though, with Jovi and Yara going backwards, Big Ed putting Liz through peer pressure decisions to make him be able to go out with strippers, Molly and Kelly leaving the resort in separate directions, and Michael not even being here. It kind of just makes me think maybe the show's gone on a little bit too far. But let's go back to the weird shaped man being, well, weird.
Michael's telling me that y'all called him and showed him titties.
Okay, I'm guilty as charged.
Why does this stupid man look so proud of himself? Just because your partner's given up on having any form of self-respect? Just because your partner wants a TV career from your novelty skeletal system and your strange actions doesn't mean Angela should be the same. You can't just ruin it for them because you probably feel like yours is going down the pan. But then Ed gets the question of, did he behave?
For the most part, I did.
Jovi tell me that y'all don't behave, y'all touch everybody.
I'm not gonna get upset or listen to any of this until I hear from Jovi why you have the nerve to ask both of us to lie for you.
Okay, Liz, I get it, but your man still lied to you. Forget Yara's man asking you to lie, you ought to look a bit closer to home. Your issue is sat right behind you and randomly grabbing you whilst you try to talk to people. Also, did anyone notice he's wearing a shirt from the night before? I swear down, it's like he just wants to rub it in their face. He likes to push people to their breaking point, and it's just such a sad old man trait to possess. But then to back up what I literally just said, Ed tries to throw Jovi under the bus.
Can you ask Jovi who he was texting last night?
Look at that smirk on his face. He enjoys seeing people upset. Yara is clearly, visually upset with her partner. Not just annoyed, genuinely disheartened. But this little gremlin decides he wants to just add fuel to the fire.
Who were you texting last night?
Who you think? What?
Some stripper in Jamaica.
Right, he deserves to be exposed and he is definitely also in the wrong. But did you see his face? He's just piling on more and more pressure and laughing. It's just a sociopathic thing to do and I just cannot wrap my head around it. I just don't get why anyone would voluntarily have this man by their side. I hope Jovi gets up and lamps him one because honestly, he needs that smirk wiped off his face. But instead, Yara humbles Jovi, which was good to see, to be fair. But then Ed goes on to spout some more dross about thinking he's the victim. Honestly, I can't wait for this to boil over, and I hope that Jovi lands a clean one.
Dude, you tried to get me to lie to my wife.
I did not try to get you to lie to her.
Yes, you did. And your whole point was to try to take me down.
Are you kidding me? You were celebrating, running around, dancing like the little hobbit that you are when your partner gave you permission. And then you spend about an hour in the strip club running around telling every woman that you love her and throwing your little goblin coins at them. And prior to this, you were using pickup lines on any girl you saw in the bar. The night started with you drinking and wanting to chat to other women. In fact, before any of the boys even brought up the strip club, you were the first one to go up to a woman in the bar who was working and inappropriately spoke to her. But then Ed just wants to poke the stick even further. Like genuinely what he does next is really, really strange.
Why don't you explain to your daughter where you were? Why don't you tell your daughter about your stripper
Bring
friend?
my daughter into this.
I think Jovi is a piece of trash and he does not deserve Yara. Everything he's done in the last couple of episodes is just plain wrong. But why does Ed need to bring his daughter up? Even Liz is patting him on the shoulder saying, Ed, what are you doing? This is just not right. I don't know, maybe I'm just super anti-Ed, but it's just really weird to watch him sitting there enjoying watching another person crumble. And maybe for him it's a guilt thing because he knows full well that he lied to his partner Liz. But my God, someone needs to sort him out. Cue Jovi's attempt.
I will punch you in the fucking face if you bring up my daughter.
Jovi, sit the fuck down.
You bring my fucking daughter into this? This your ass, Ed.
Bring it on.
I will
Bring
fuck
it on.
you up.
Jovi, Ed.
Well, that was underwhelming, wasn't it? Nothing like a grown man starting a fight and then waiting for security to hold him back. Not only have you had your own wife throw a drink over you, you've been center of all of the heat, and your response is just to stand there and point a finger at Ed. I bet Yara feels so impressed right now. But finally, Liz finds her voice.
Just don't say another word, please.
Maybe he needs to realize he's hurting you.
Shut
That's
up,
I get it.
please.
That is literally all of us when watching this poor excuse of a man. But like always with the people on this show, it's too little, too late. The damage has been done. But now back on land, we see Asuelu packing his things and setting sail on his own voyage. Kalani's finally had enough and decided to jump ship because she's found her treasure in the new man. But then, more typical Ed, as he decides he wants to try and control Liz.
My husband's getting gray in his beard.
I think this is completely fair, and if I was Liz, this would be a genuine concern for me. And I imagine any woman would want to feel a certain level of protection from their man. And if you're a man putting your partner in the middle of a potential fight, it's just a really concerning thing to do. Obviously, I can't speak for women here because I am not one, so if you are one, then please do feel free to give me your opinion on this.
I'm not gonna act or anything. Oh, you want me to be quiet now that I'm telling you how I feel?
But yeah, the hypocrisy of this man. I remember when he had his little temper tantrum when he upset everyone in the hot tub. He said that he felt Liz didn't have his back. He's so quick to tell Liz how he feels and how he wants her to change. And that is because she actually listens to his emotions. Ed literally just wants to manipulate her and have her wrapped around his little finger. And then to actually whisper to her to be quiet. Like, all jokes aside, he's just a horrible man. He doesn't deserve Liz by his side. End of. But then Action Man decides he wants the spotlight again.
What is he doing? Jovi, where are you going?
Sorry, what was the point in that? Gets in one minor scuffle with a literal goblin and now has to act like a problem child. Honestly, the men on this show are pathetic. But where is he gonna go though? He's literally staying in a room or suite with his wife. It's not like he jumped into the water while they were out at sea and swam to shore to start a new life. He climbed off a boat that hadn't quite come to a complete stop. It's so dramatic for no reason. And then if this episode couldn't get any more bizarre, Ed tries to blame Liz.
You should not have interjected yourself into the situation.
How am I not supposed to not do that?
How on God's green earth is he still finding the words in his tiny little brain to pass the blame? It's beyond embarrassing now. He shouldn't even be allowed out the house, let alone to marry anyone.
I appreciate you standing in for your
You're
man,
not sorry.
but it made me look weak. It made me look like I can't defend myself.
No, this has all gone too far now. He spent the last 6 episodes telling Liz that he wants her to have his back. This was her first opportunity to put those words into action. She does it. Now he's crying about it. This man will never be pleased.
You don't want me to be there and have your back and protect you. At least I had your fucking back and didn't have a problem trying to jump in to protect you.
I don't know why you're so
no fucking problem.
I don't know why you're so upset.
I don't know why you're upset. Maybe listen to the words she's saying. That's a good start. But then Liz actually goes on to question their whole relationship journey as a whole.
Fuck you, Ed.
There you go. Therapy's working, babe. That's our therapy.
I'm glad for her sake that she's finally actually woken up to Ed's childish ways. It did begin to feel like that for a while she was kind of numb to it all. He has no right to make her feel that way because she is literally levels above him. But yes folks, that is all for this episode. We've had some thrills and we've had some spills. But the next episode is the final therapy. I'm sure there will be many tears. Just like me if you don't press the like button on this video, and then you might as well subscribe whilst you're there. Just pressing those little buttons really helps my channel out massively and it really pushes wishes me out there, and I am forever grateful for all the people who continue to show support on my silly little videos. But yeah, I really hope you did enjoy, and I hope to see you next time. And yeah, cheers. Bye.